Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. The biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dare say. Isn't that right, Big Ron? What you got bubbling, Big Ron? Stop running around telling people you've got things bubbling. Big Ron and his bubbling stories. Oh my God. Hey? Unbelievable. Let's get this off, man. Good weather's here now, so we don't need any body warmers. Somebody said to me the other week, Russell, when you turn your cap around, you turn into a little monster. Right. Here we go. Fury versus Usyk. Got half an hour before Kent comes on, so why? Why is that happening? Well, it's simple, really, isn't it? It's the heavyweight division, right? The heavyweight division drives the whole of boxing, doesn't it? Heavyweights. Without the heavyweights, boxing would collapse, wouldn't it? We can have undisputed champions in other weight divisions. There's 18 weight divisions, I believe. If you count bridgerweight, you know, is it strawweight or light flyweight? There's 18 altogether, but in my opinion, there's only like probably 16 active divisions, but we have undisputeds in other divisions. Can never seem to get one over the line with heavyweights. Do you know why? Because we've got promoters pulling fighters all over the place and dictating to TV platforms. That's what's going on. Now, we haven't had one this century. So we've not had one this century. Well, the last one, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, 1999 were it. They did that as a draw, didn't they? They couldn't even give us that one, could they? But this time there were 6 belts online: WBC, WBA, IBF, IBO, WBA, Ring Magazine belt, and obviously this fictional thing, this lineal. I don't buy into all that. But Usyk's got 5 of the 6 belts, right? He's training like a Trojan. Fury's got to turn up on it, right? If it happens. If. Now, it's got to happen. If it doesn't happen and we have a pullout, where does this leave the sport? Where? I don't know. It leaves it in disarray, doesn't it? When you've got a sport in disarray, you know what you've got? You've got anarchy. That's what you've got. Anarchy. And that's what we don't want. We want an undisputed. It's the blue ribbon division, isn't it? It drives the sport. Now, for years we've had lip service, haven't we? From your Bob Arams, your Frank Warrens, Eddie Hearns, Don Kings, Lou DiBellas, Gary Shaws, all them big top guys. Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, Hopkins, all them lot, Callis Howland. For years and years and years, all these people have been doing is telling TV platforms that, yeah, we're going to deliver. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do wonders. All we've done is sit on cucumbers. You see where I'm coming from? And I think it's got to the stage now where we're all here, aren't we, with it? Absolutely here. I am. I'm starting to think that if I've given up something that were very lucrative to do this, I've given that up because it's something I believe in and something I enjoy. But if they can't get an undisputed fight for heavyweights over the line, Houston, we have a problem, don't we? We have a massive problem. So they've got to get this fight over the line now. There's a couple of weeks to go now. It's squeaky bum time, isn't it? Especially for Tyson Fury. And let's have it right. All he's doing is putting out old videos of him in shape. And then these latest videos that they're putting out are him looking fat as a pig and not in shape. So what he's doing his best to let Usyk know that he's in shape and he's taking it serious. Then He's hard as shape. Either way, any of that won't bother Usyk. The thing he hasn't seen anything like this before, Usyk. Of course he has. He's seen it all before. Honestly, it's just like an old veteran, something like my age, going back to prison. You've seen it all before. It's not as daunting as when you first go, is it? After the first time, you're like, oh, when you're feeling your nappy. When the screw comes in your cell on your 21st birthday and says, get your kit, you're going on to adult wing, you. Oh, with Paul Sykes on there and Delroy Showers. But no, it's not as daunting, is it? So it is what it is. But we want to see it happen, don't we? We're fed up of TV companies being paid lip service by these promoters. What I personally would like to see with these TV companies is what they had at Free Sports. I remember when Dennis used to put lists in a survey. And we're finished, you get a list of fighters and fights made. You put it to Free Sports, and they're the quality control. So Dennis didn't have it all his own way there. Free Sports, the fights were vetted, but on bigger platforms like Sky and TNT Sports or BT Sports when it were, and ESPN, I think there's no quality control. Some of these fights that they're putting on now are shocking, absolutely shocking. But TV companies' hands are tied. But what it needs is these people to put the foot down and say, no, we want that fight. And the promoters would do it, you know. Promoters pander to TV companies, but they're also confidence tricksters, and they'll pay a lot of lip service to these TV companies. You remember what I said when I first started this channel? I always revert back to Dennis, obviously, because I worked there over 6 years. Dennis once told me a story where he was in New York, and I remember he was speaking with various promoters there and TV guys from HBO. It was a big, massive place in New York. I'm not sure if it's Manhattan or whatever. And they were speaking, this is years ago. I think he'd gone over there to make the Clinton Woods fight and Roy Jones for world title at light heavyweight. But he was speaking to them about quality control. And I always repeat this, and it's always stuck in my head. Pay-per-view fights back then, right, were like when you're out with your friends, you know, on a night out, and you're having a few drinks, and you're like, Saturday afternoon, you know, I've been watching football. I said, we need to get back to pokies. Why? Because we need to watch this pay-per-view fight. We can't miss this fight. It's on pay-per-view. That's when everybody like, yeah, let's go over that. You know, when before it started coming out in pubs and stuff like that. And everybody would want to go on, wouldn't they, to watch that pay-per-view, because it's like a boxing event and you're paying for it as well as on top of your subscription. What's happened now is they've opened the floodgates and it's become a free-for-all and everything's pay-per-view. We've got to a stage now where we're watching people who can't fight, like Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury can't fight. That's why his uncle Peter stopped training. He says, you can't fight. Do something else. Could be a model or something, Tommy. You're a good-looking lad, but you can't box Easter eggs. But it's become a free-for-all. People have slipped through the net and people are paying to watch this rubbish. Whereas people who've got social media presences are like dictating what they want. If Tommy Fury were any good, he'd be fighting as a professional, wouldn't he? He would, wouldn't he? He'd be going for an area belt now. What has he had? 9 or 10 fights? You'd be ready for an area title shot, wouldn't you? Well, you get beat. So how can he make the most money? Well, he's not going to want to fight for 5 or 10 grand, is he, as a pro, when he can get 5 or 10 million? You see where I'm coming from? But it means that the sport's getting watered down, and that's where people like me pop up. I get cheesed off. When that ice breaks, I'll be waiting, and I don't want to see stuff like that on my TV. I don't. I want to see Tommy Fury with somebody going for an English belt or a British title eliminator. You know, we'll see where he's at then after all that big chat. You see where I'm coming from? So there's got to be some quality control. But now that we've got this Turkey Al Sheikh guy throwing money around left, right, and centre, hopefully all these fights can get made. I mean, they're talking about Jared Anderson now against Wilder on August 3rd. If Wilder beats Zhang on, is it June 1st? I don't know. The dates are changing by the day. But they're throwing a lot of money around, so that's a good thing. Fighters are getting paid. I applaud that. But what about the sport as a whole. What about the sport in Europe, in England, in America? Now they're talking about putting shows on now. Joshua, they're saying, could be fighting Wilder or Zhang in September. Well, if that's true, Wilder's not going to be fighting Zhang. It's all ifs and buts. Let's talk about it when we're in fight week and at the weigh-in. Because all we're seeing at the moment is people putting stuff out there that's fantasy island stuff. It's just chit chat, and it's keeping us on hook all the time out. We're like that, aren't we? With tongues hanging out, you know. It is what it is. There's too many fighters at the moment, in my opinion. We're begging ball wanting to get to Saudi, but let's see if they can start putting shows on in UK and America and Vegas, LA, New York. You know, it's not all about Saudi because not everybody can afford to go to Saudi, can't they? And I don't want to go there. Can I afford to go? Yeah, but I think it's a waste of money. And plus, I'm the type of person that probably go out there and say something I shouldn't. I'll be coming back with no arms and that off, no hand or something. Be calling me Flipper. They have to change my name to Flipper's Corner. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is, isn't it? Need to get some air in my comfort ball, don't I? What do you think? I want to know when Sports Direct at Parkgate are going to start selling footballs and American footballs and basketballs and actually put some in air in them. Oh, you've got to buy a pump. Proper joke. It is what it is. Let's have a look. Quarter of a century it is, but we've been waiting. So we've had these promoters chatting absolutely pony macaroni, chatting rhubarb for a quarter of a century. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. We all remember when Anthony Joshua won world title, don't we, for a belt that he got bought in, basically. We all remember what happened, don't we? What was the slogan then? It was, stay hungry and be humble and all that. That's what he was running around saying. And Eddie were running around saying, all roads lead to undisputed. Well, all roads didn't lead to undisputed, did they? Because when we had Wilder and Joshua together, what did they say to us on Sky Sports? Eddie Hills or Eddie Hearn. I shouldn't call him Eddie Hills. My mum says it's quite insulting. So I'm going to call him Eddie Hearn. I'm going to try and remember to call him that. Eddie Hearn's words were, the winner of Vladimir Klitschko against Anthony Joshua in April 2017, they said the winner fights Wilder for all the marbles, all 6 belts. That was 7 years ago and 2 weeks. 7 years, 2 weeks ago. So we're over 7 years ago. They flew Wilder in, paid him a handsome fee, flew him in business class, put him in London Hilton at Wembley, yeah, near Wembley Park Tube Station, where I used to live as a teenager. Flew him in. What happened? Wilder fighting the winner. Eddie Hearn's words. All roads lead to undisputed. Everybody bought into it. They sold out Wembley Stadium, 90,000. They beat Frotcher's 80,000 record, which probably gutted Carl, knowing Carl as I do. Or was it 78,000? I don't know. But either way, everybody bought into it. That was over 7 years ago. And we still hadn't had an undisputed. You see where I'm coming from? And what did I say then? What did Terry Chappendana say? Terry said it wouldn't happen, didn't it? We was abused. We was abused. And I was on Twitter, then I went on YouTube. You know? After that, I said, do you know what? I should start a YouTube channel up and go after these mofos. And I have. But is anybody listening? Yeah, they're listening and they're watching, but do they care? No, they don't care. These people don't care. So if it doesn't happen May 18th, where's boxing heading? Well, it'd be gutter, won't it? If that doesn't happen May 18th, you know. Now, all them arse lickers in media, and we know they are, I'm not going to name them. We all know all the people who've got access. If that fight doesn't happen May 18th, the people with access, they'll just go, oh, it's an injury, or they've moved the date. Instead of saying, get effed. That's what you need to say. You know, if it doesn't happen on May 18th, who in the media is going to put pressure on these promoters? Nobody's going to rock the boat, are they? Nobody's going to want to rock that little boat. because they've all got access, and the media, in my opinion, they're the problem. They're not going after these people because they don't want to lose access, and it's wrong, isn't it? And it can't be left to people like me and Ultratech and the Beautiful Boxing Podcast, Terry Chapman Dharma's channel, and channels like Boxing Asylum and G-Man and all that. It can't be left to people like those and the people I have on here, Porky's Commission, or my pals. It can't be left to us just to keep mentioning it and bringing it up, because we're like the silent majority, aren't we? Really, the hardcores. We're like small fry, aren't we? The media know what's going on, but they don't say anything. And I can understand that, because they've got their own bills to pay in their own lives and that. They're not like me. I can turn my hand to anything, can't I? But this has become really, really frustrating for me. Really frustrating. And all we want is the undisputed fight. And we're going to hear all sorts in the next couple of weeks. We're already getting Fury putting stuff out, trying to play mind games. Why don't you just concentrate on getting your sen in shape, Tyson? Instead of thinking about mind games, trying to win the fight that way. You're dealing with Usyk here. European gold, Olympic gold, World Championship gold. That's an amateur. 350 fights, 15 losses, rematched 11. Other 4 he couldn't get to. Sean Porter was one of them, by the way. He's cleaned up at undisputed at cruiserweight. Right, what's the beat? 7 world champions. Fury's beat 4. And he's cleaned up at heavyweight, except 1 belt. He's got 5 of the 6 belts. He's done Joshua twice. Right? Something Fury's not done. Fury's been talking about fighting Joshua for over 10 years now, since they sparred. They sparred before Olympics, didn't they? When he lit Tyson up, didn't he, before Olympics? So that'll be in Tyson Fury's head. I don't think he'll want to go near Joshua. He had some fist off him in sparring. End of 2011, I believe. Go on and listen to Steve Bunce's interview with him. He admitted it, and it was true. I know people that were there. So maybe that might be in Tyson's head. I personally don't think Tyson Fury and Joshua ever fight. And I'm still not 100% that he fights Usyk. It's my opinion. But opinions are like ears, aren't they? Everybody's got them. Except me, I've got top of my bit off on one of them. Although I've had it rounded off, it's not so bad now. I've had a couple of ops on it. Only out of vanity. Could you imagine NFL in America? Could you imagine? American football, Super Bowl, the biggest sporting event in the world, isn't it, when it happens? It's bigger than World Cup, isn't it? Could you imagine there being no NFL Super Bowl final? I mean, I don't know what main teams are, and I've got various tops. My favourite top's Miami Dolphins one, but I think somebody's nicked it. But look, imagine no Super Bowl, no FA Cup final in UK, no Champions League final for 25 years. Well, that's what it is with undisputed heavyweight championship, isn't it? We can have like 1 or 2 or 3 champions at heavyweight, but it's better to have one, isn't it? Like when Ali was the man. It's better to have one champion. If we don't have an undisputed this year, boxing's in gutter, in my opinion. I'll keep saying it, but like I've just said, could you imagine there being no Champions League final for 25 years? If we had the 1999 Champions League final when Man United fluked it against Barcelona in injury time for them 2 goals. Imagine if there were no Champions League winners since then. We kept going through the tournaments every year, but the final never got played because of politics. There would be riots in the streets. Maybe not so much for FA Cup because nobody cares about it now, but they used to do. I remember when FA Cup was a big event in my house. From 9 o'clock in the morning, you sit there with your Monster Munch and your Coca-Cola, wouldn't you? Big event in my house. Now it's so big as it's money's taken over, but I just think if we don't get this on May 18th, I'll be devastated. I'll probably be sat roaring in here. But it is what it is. So the promoters push the boat out too far. The TV companies have no quality control. We've covered all that. We know what's going on, don't we? These fights have got to happen. These undisputeds. That's what we want. Everybody's looking for an edge at the moment, aren't they, with this Fury fight, except Usyk. Do we see Usyk putting posts out every day about what his weight is, if he's big, if he's small, and all this nonsense? No, we don't. Like I said earlier, I think Tyson needs to concentrate on his game fit and getting his mindset ready. Usyk, we saw what he did to Joshua twice. We saw what he did to Dubois. So, is he really bothered about Tyson Fury? I don't think he is. He's seen every style. So I'm going to have 50 quid on Usyk, just a straight win. I think it's a good bet. I'm not going to bet on Fury, not because I don't like him. No, I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like what he stands for. I don't like rubbish he comes out with. I know a lot of people who work in media who don't like him, but these same people will sit in his company and interview him. Nah, that's not me. I won't have him on here. I won't pee on him if you're on fire. But at least I'm honest. I want him to get knocked out. I want him to get knocked out. That's it. So do other people, but they're not going to say it, are they? I wear my heart on my sleeve. Does Fury want legacy or does he want money? It's about money for him now, isn't it? He's not bothered about legacy. If Fury were bothered about legacy, he wouldn't be running around saying he's a GOAT, greatest of all time, when really his CV's pish. You got an old man, Vladimir, 40-year-old on his CV, hasn't he? And 2 wins over a one-trick pony, Wilder, and 1 over a small man, Cunningham, an old small man who stepped up. And that is it. That's the Fury CV. Look at Usyk's. His CV's been about legacy from being an amateur, European World Olympic gold, to pro, undisputed at cruiserweight, to now 1 fight from undisputed from heavyweight. You never hear him mention money. He's never failed a dope test like Tyson Fury. He doesn't abuse people and speak to people like absolute poo. You've seen how Tyson speaks to people, haven't you? Like absolute poo. But whenever you're the champ and you've got platforms, you can get away with it, can't you? You start getting a few losses on your record, you start carrying off like that. Well, it's not good, is it? But when Usyk does him, you'll see the mask slip. Trust me. If it's a draw, we'll have a disgusted. No, if it's a draw and it is a draw, I said, let's play it again, Sam. But if it's a draw and it should be an Usyk win, you know, boxing's just shot its Senate foot again, hasn't it? Is the draw a good bet? Yeah, I think the draw is a good bet. But our boxing is behind the scenes. Some people are saying to me some of these fights are fixed. We don't have any proof on that, so you can't say that. But would it surprise me? I don't know. I hope it ain't, because if I say I think there's fixers going on, why would I want to be involved in this? So I only really got involved in this because I was fed up sitting in a porter cabin on a car pitch, sniffing gear with my mates and couldn't even sell out because I was that wasted. Do you know what I mean? If people do, I'll take them on a test run and say, "You interested?" So I'll let you know. I go, "You let me know. We've just been doing 120 now. I want it. You don't want to buy it." So that's why I got involved in this. So I don't fire into the frying pan if the sport's corrupt, innit? So I'd probably be better off going and getting a job in a factory, wouldn't I, here? Working here. If this sport's corrupt, it'd break my heart. So I'd like to think it ain't corrupt. But I think a lot of these judges and referees and that, they're on such good money and there's that many perks. I always feel that they tend to side with own promoter just to stay on the safe side, knowing that they're going to get out the following week and then get a 1,500 quid or £1,200 for just basically doing standing around talking boxing, a bit of refereeing, a bit of judging. You know, we can all fall in love with sport when we're getting paid that kind of money, can't we? That's why at the moment I prefer amateur boxing at the moment. I've been looking at a lot of amateur stuff because it's clean, isn't it, really? There's no money, is there? People just do it for the love of the sport. But it is what it is. They're talking Jared Anderson, Wilder. Look, it's all talk and chatting it. Other chat they're talking is Terence Crawford against Benavidez at 160. Are you having a laugh? Listen, we have weight divisions for a reason. You know, fighters, they're not superheroes, are they? Sooner or later, somebody's going to get hurt if you keep messing about with these weight divisions. You know, Crawford's like, did he beat Ricky Burns a few years ago when he first won belt at lightweight? So why would you even be putting him in with Benavidez? They're going to drain Benavidez down. Didn't they learn anything from the Conor Ben Eubank situation? I'm not so sure. think that's about it, really. We'll get ready for Kent now. Now we'll go make myself a coffee and get changed. Okie dokie. So thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Okie dokie. Big shout out to Max. Hope you're well, Maxie. Get that derby off, Max. You know what I mean, Max? Stop being trappy, Max. I'm not bothered that you're a big 6'4", 20 stone. No, because when I hit you with that body shot here, Max, inside of your body, I'll just cut you down like cheddar cheese. So if there is a problem, come down here anytime, Max, and fetch Dennis with you on 8. Oh, okie dokie. I love Max really, but getting a bit trappy lately, Max, aren't you? One piece out.